if you clicked in this video, there's probably a high chance that you're procrastinating or that you're struggling with it. Actually, the fact that you may be scrolling through YouTube may be a sign of that. Well, in this video, I wanted to share with you 3 behaviors that are helping me to get stuff done when I feel motivated or just when I'm ready to give up. At the end of this video, I will also share why most people fail at accomplishing their goals. The first thing that we have to do is to really understand what procrastination is. So it's interesting because as I was researching what procrastination means, I think this definition, it's clear to the point where we are able to find then what the solution may be. Procrastination is the act of unnecessarily and voluntarily delaying or postponing something despite knowing that there will be a negative consequence for doing so. Now, interesting to note, often people refer to procrastination, lack of motivation, but doesn't necessarily mean that's correct. However, let's look for what it means to be motivated, right? What is motivation? Motivation is the reason for which humans and other animals initiate, continue, or terminate a behavior at a given time. Motivational states are commonly understood as forces acting within the agent that creates a disposition to engage in goal-directed behavior. So, very interesting. The definition here does talk about goals. But I also find that there's a correlation one with the other. When I think about procrastination, I think about it as a consequence of something else. Meaning, sometimes we procrastinate to do work. But is it because we have so many things to do, so we are not able to maybe prioritize what's more important to what's least important? And the way that I see it is, if that's the case, then what I need to be doing is identifying why my body, right, or myself, or even my brain is telling me, you know what, let me do that later, right? And that's what is procrastination. Sometimes it's just a lack of interest, right? Maybe you want to go to the gym per se, and then you find that you register for the gym membership, but then you go maybe one time, then you're struggling to go the second time, right? Because you are trying to convince yourself that you want to go to the gym, but maybe you want to go to the gym, right? And then not necessarily wanting to go to the gym. So hopefully I didn't confuse you there, but that's sometimes what happens. For example, also, let me share a story. I have for a long time wanted to start reading a book, but I often get distracted with other things that maybe I want to do. So then I postpone that for a later time, although I know that what I should be doing is reading, right? So the fact of the matter in this situation is that I just don't like reading. Does that mean that I just will disregard it and never try to read? No, I will push myself to build that behavior. If we go back to the scenario that we were talking about before, right, which is going to the gym, how do we make it happen? How do we make it a reality? And when we think about what the definition of motivation is, that's where the key is. It's important that we are able to frame why we do the things that we do. I often like to refer to that as our why. Our why's gotta be very important to who we are as individuals. For example, taking the same scenario in the gym. Are you going to a gym because you want to get a six-pack? And then you go to the gym for an entire month and you notice that you don't have a six-pack, right? But when you tie that to maybe a health fitness goal, where you want to make sure that you stay healthy, you want to make sure that you're thinking for your future self, then in that case, things will change. It all comes down to how we frame what we want to accomplish. It's not necessarily thinking about the one thing that we need to do. It's thinking about where those different activities will take us from a goal perspective. It's important that you know where you're at today and where you want to go. If you don't have a destination, it's going to be really hard for you to stay en route. Here's the other part. People say, well, if you're not feeling motivated, you have to be committed. And that is true, right? Like, a commitment is going to help you to get there. But the reality is identifying how can you remove resistance from you executing on those activities or those behaviors is just gonna make it a lot easier. The first ally of procrastinations are distractions. And I want you to think about distractions this way. Distractions is anything and everything that's not helping you get to your goal. So if you're not creating traction to get closer to your goals, everything else is a distraction, something that is pulling you away from your goals or anything that you're looking to accomplish. So if you could position yourself in a scenario where there are minimal or even no distractions whatsoever, you already took a step in the right direction. However, if you don't do anything about that and you know there are things that will just get in the way, well, that is probably a mistake, right? We want to get to position ourselves in the best way possible. Today, I wanted to share with you 3 behaviors that can help you be more productive and reduce procrastination. Create a plan. Create a plan that is attainable, realistic, and timely. Don't create a plan that's going to take a whole year. Create a plan that's going to help you accomplish that goal in the next 30 days, if it is obviously realistic to accomplish within the next 30 days. But whatever goals you set, they have to be realistic, they have to be attainable, and they have to be timely. It cannot be an open goal. You have to have a plan. You've heard this, that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it's important that you have a plan. Our second behaviors is to set up goals that you cannot fail. And no, these are not your goals that you're trying to accomplish, but in your plan, you want to set metrics that you for a fact can accomplish. For example, let's take it back to the gym example. If you commit yourself to get dressed, whether you want to go to the gym or not, but you know that, it's part of your goals, but you commit to yourself, I'm going to get dressed. Say you came from work, long day, it's already 6:30, 7:30, who knows? You've been working all day, but you committed yourself, you can get dressed. You definitely can get dressed. By the moment that you're dressed, can you maybe push yourself to go to the car and drive to the gym? Maybe you made it to the gym and you work out for 20 minutes. I don't know about you, but 20 minutes is probably a very short workout. But you challenge yourself to not stay home. You did all those activities that over time they will compound. You're on the path to creating a habit that even when you're tired, you will get ready to go to the gym. Over time, now you will be able to go to the gym whether you're tired or not, and your brain is now being wired that there's no excuse. You're going to make it to the gym. Now let's take it to the next plane, right? So say that you actually couldn't make it to the gym one day. What could be another goal that you're able to commit, and at the end of that journey is still going to compound for your bigger goal? Say that you set a goal for yourself of not missing the gym more than 2 days in a row. Say it's the beginning of the week, you go to the gym on Monday, but then Tuesday you just couldn't make it. You were tired, you made it home, and you got busy in other activities, and you just couldn't make it to the gym. But something happens on Wednesday where you have to stay late for work, so you cannot make it to the gym. Well, you know that Thursday, you must go to the gym, whether you change your hours, whatever you have to do. If you give yourself that grace of falling back onto a secondary plan, well, at least you have a process and you have a plan for when the original plan doesn't work, right? And eventually you'll be able to get back on track to what the original plan was. The third behavior that we need to implement in our routines, we want to make sure that we give ourselves grace to understand that nothing's perfect. But the goal here is that each and every single day, we are working to getting close to that goal. Doesn't matter if we missed one day. Say you're doing a diet. The problem with the diet is that, you go full in and then you just are changing how you've lived all up to this point. Of course, you may fail because that is crazy. Your entire life you've lived a certain way, so it's going to be really hard to change it from one day to the other. It takes time. But allowing yourself to understand that there may be some setbacks, that should not derail you from your ultimate goal. In this case, let's say that you're trying to lose weight. Just because you ate a burger on a single day doesn't mean that tomorrow and every day thereafter, you're gonna now eat all this junk food that is going to completely derail from what you wanted to accomplish. I'll close it with this. The reason why most people fail is because of perfection. And we need to understand and be okay with us knowing that there's no plan, there's nothing that is perfect. And what we should strive for is that every single day we are working and chipping away at that we're looking to accomplish. The important thing is for you to be clear on what is your why and ensure that why is bigger than all the activities that you're doing, that the purpose for why you're doing things is something that drives you. And when that's the case, all of a sudden, those goals that you had are reachable. Because it doesn't matter if I'm feeling motivated that day, if I'm feeling like I have the energy or maybe not, you will commit to executing on that why, because it's not about going to the gym. It's about living a better life. It is not about getting all this work done. It's about being successful in your career. And all these goals that you may have, make sure that you're clear on what the why is for you. What is that purpose? And remember this, anything that is not helping you get closer to your goals, not helping you get traction, it is a distraction. And when you identify those distractions, it's easier to see the path that you must take that's going to help you accomplish that bigger why. If you made it this far in the video, I hope I was able to add some value. I would appreciate it if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, drop down in the comments what is one of the goals you're trying to accomplish where distractions have gotten in the way and even procrastination, and how you plan to change that. What is that plan that you have?